What's up, Vindicators? This Xenoxis is back with the final part for the 11th of March 2017. This is the last part. We're gonna go over the finale of the Rudek here, the Bruiser Dude deck. Yes, that's right. And we're gonna go over the last few cards here. So we have Nourish at 5 mana. I still only have 1 Nourish for some reason. Still haven't crafted 2, but I haven't found room for it in the deck. I would have to take out Savage Roar. And I'm not really willing to do that. Savage Roar has given me value in most of the games I played, so yeah. So 5 mana Nourish. Choose 1, gain 2 mana crystals or draw 3 cards. Of course, with Fandral Stag Helm, that would be pretty insane, you know. Because then you will get both those effects in one. And the Nourish will be insane for that cost, for like 5 mana. 5 mana draw 3 cards and get 2 mana crystals. Like if you consider that Jade Blossom costs like 2. Or like cost 3 mana, for example. But yeah. Then we have 2 second-rate Bruisers, which is Taunt for 5 mana, cost 4/5, which is basically Jedi, Shieldwind Jedi stats, right? Let's search here. Shield, I think, yeah. Use tapping Shield, yeah. The Shieldwind Jedi is a 4 mana 4/5, which is just a standard card, which is really good, you know. Just pure value card. But then second rate Bruiser is 1 more mana expensive. But the thing is, like, if your opponent had a pretty big board, cost 2 less if your opponent has at least 3 minions. And then you're basically playing it for 3 mana. 3 mana for 5. pretty good stat line, you know. Are there even any? Twilight Elder is pretty similar stat line wise, or not really. There are 3-4. The Twilight Elder is still pretty insane, like stat wise. If you think about it, 3-4 with the Twilight Elder. Like I love those old school like Shatoon decks. Aberrant Berserker is 3-5. Agent Brew Master is 5-4 stats. So yeah. Oh, but that's 4 mana, so yeah. I mean, there aren't really that many good 3 mana thing. Silted Swarm is 3-5, but can only attack if you hear attack this turn. You know? So yeah. Race of Fan Hunter is pretty decent. Consider some as a 1/1 boar, so it's actually 3-4 worth of stats on that one. But yeah. Injured Blade Master is, of course, really good, you know. But mostly it only really has value in Priest, you know, and stuff like that. Anyway, so second Bruce is really good because it stops aggro, and generally you will almost always get the value for it. And even if you play it at 5, it's not a bad 5 cost card. Because consider this, Tastingo is pretty sure it's 5, it's not 4, it's not that cheap for the Tastingo. No, the Tastingo is 4, but it's a 3-5. This is a 4-5, so yeah. And this is 1 more expensive. I believe that stat line also, the Torrent Taunt minion has it, right? I forgot what it's called. But that's for 6 mana. The other Sunwalker has the 4-5 stat line, which is Taunt plus Divine Shield. Which of course used 1 mana more expensive and works like a second rate Bruiser. Has the same rarity, but is 1 more extra expensive. And the thing is, that will never get the discount that you get from the other thing. But yeah, so Sylvanas, if you get the full disenchant value of Sylvanas, you will get actually 400. But it costs 1,600 to craft. But you only get 400 from it. I would wish you would get the full crafting value, really, to be honest. And that's really what I'm hoping for, that Blizzard is meaning, so that once Sylvanas rotates out, you will get 1,600 for her, and you will still get to keep her, you know. Same thing if you have Rag, but I don't currently have Rag, for whatever weird reason. Like, back during Classic, I used to have almost all the cards. But then, of course, at one point I decided, I'm gonna try to go for all gold cards, so then I kept like disenchanting normal cards. And then when certain expansions would come out, I would try to get rid of all the previous cards ones, like the not the first adventure released, because the first adventure that was released didn't affect your cards, your previous cards. You didn't need to, because you couldn't craft the adventure cards. But then when the first expansion came out, like Goblins vs. Gnome, it was first Nexramas, right? And then Goblins vs. Gnome. Was it 2 adventures back to back before they made an actual expansion? I think it might have been like Nexramas was first, then Blackrock Mountain, then they did Goblins vs. Gnome as the first expansion, and then the expansion after that was the Arden Tournament, and then after Arden Tournament it went into Old Gods, and then League of Explorer. Or League of Explorer might have been before Old Gods or after. I've forgotten what order it was. You know, it's a specific order to it. You know, but yeah. But anyway, so let's go with 2 final cards here, or the 4 final cards, right? Because there are 2 of each. So at 6 mana we have 2 Dark Arakoa. This is actually worth running, even if you're not building a Chatoon deck, because the stat line is really strong. It's a 6 mana taunt. Battlecry give you a Chatoon 3/3/3/, whatever it is. But it doesn't matter. The taunt stat line is pretty good. It's a 5/7, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 worth of stats for 6 mana. That's pretty decent. Let's go into some other 6 manas here. Archmage is, for example, 4/7, but that doesn't have a taunt. Big Time Racketeer is basically a 7/7 with those stats, which is of course better, but that doesn't have taunt either. About the Fist Ogre is of course a 6/7, it's pretty good, but that still doesn't have taunt. Compared to Ancient of Blossom, has 8/3 with taunt. Arakoa is just better because it has more attack. So Ancient of Blossom has 1 more health, but that won't matter that much, really, to be honest. So it's really, really good. And stat-wise, even if I go into crafted cards here, for example, I don't think there's anything really that matches it. Like just pure power-wise. Even the legendaries have worse stat lines. Stuff, so yeah. Of course, Cairn Bloodhoof is probably better than the Dark Arakoa, because Cairn Bloodhoof is 4/5 plus 4/5, so that's 8, 10. If you combine both the cards, it would be like 8, 10. So that would be 18 worth of stats in a Cairn Bloodhoof. But the thing is, Cairn Bloodhoof is very common that people hex or they polymorph, or if it's a Warlock Blast Crystal Potion, you know, it's so many effective removals for Gambler, or you silence him. But the thing is, if they don't expect the Cairn Bloodhoof in the deck, that's really strong. But a lot of people are saying, or from what I've read, is that a lot of people are thinking that certain legendaries are going to get better. Certain old classic legendaries are going to get better due to the removal of Sylvanas and Ragnaros. So Cairn Bloodhoof might, for example, get buffed. How is he going to get buffed? That is the question. Like, the thing I would love to see, if instead of you summoning Bane Bloodhoof, imagine if his stat line was slightly worse, right? Imagine if Cairn Bloodhoof was a bit cheaper. Let's say Cairn Bloodhoof would be a 5. And then we'd have a 3/5 in stat line. Therefore, it would summon Bane Bloodhoof for 3/5. But it would also summon a really, really bad card. It would summon one Tauren Warrior, which is a 3 mana, 2/3 taunt, enrage 3 plus attack. Like, maybe it could have so that he could summon several Taurens. So, like, he would summon the Tauren Warrior, and then what else would make sense? There are a bunch of different, like, Tauren cards that... But some Tauren cards would make sense, like the one that's in the Old Gods, which is a pretty decent taunt minion, which is the 4 cost... Is it not? cost? Infest the Torn. Because imagine, you know, the insane value it would be if it summoned both Bane Bloodhoof of the Cairn dice and then uninfest the Torn as well, you know. Imagine that, you know. I wish there's at some point gonna be like expansions that are gonna make it possible to play certain other racial decks, you know, like fun decks, like an old Draenei deck, for example, like with a lot of Draenei minions in it, you know, that would be really fun, or a deck filled with like Tauren only cards, you know, and stuff like that. But my problem is to go really hardcore with that, you know, like the most extreme thing is that you only go for cards. For example, an old Draenei deck would mean that it would only be Draenei's. So for example, if you're using a spell and that spell doesn't feature a Draenei, then you wouldn't be allowed to play it, for example. Which of course is really hard because there are very few, for example, spells nowadays that even has a Draenei in it. It's very few spells actually. I'm actually gonna do one more part after this, by the way. Anyway, the last card for 6 mana as well is a Jade Behemoth. Taunt Battlecry. Summon a Jade Golem. 6 mana cost. 3/6 worth of stats. It's not really that good compared to the Dark Echo, but the thing is it summons the Jade Golem. Which goes at that point, generally you will have pretty big Jade Golems, and like if this just summons a 5/5 Jade Golem, then you can add 5/5 to that stat line. And it's like 5, 6, 7, 8. So then it's 8 and so then it's like 8 attack and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So then it's 8, 11 in stats. So then it's like 19 worth of stats for 6 mana. Which is pretty insane. And that's if it summons a 5/5 Jade Golem. But imagine if you have gotten far enough into the game, you draw it late, you draw it at 10 mana. And then you have played enough Jade calls, so like you summon like a 9/9 or something like that. Then it becomes like 9 plus 3 plus 6. So yeah, then, you know, just pure value, you know. Anyway, so now I'm just going to be looking into some cards here. Into some craftable cards and even some normal cards. Because I believe Paladin might actually be one of the classes that have the most Draenei in the picture. Like if you would try to buy a Draenei deck now, it doesn't work, you know, because I've tried, you know. But anyway, I'm going to be back very soon. I'm just going to refill the water bottle here, and I'll be back with the final episode for today. Because this has been the 4th episode, I believe. So yeah, I see you all very, very soon.